Hi everybody. For today's video, we're going to do something a little different. We haven't actually had this conversation yet, but as we've talked about our future and retirement, we've never had the one-on-one conversation about like what am I looking forward to in retirement as opposed to what Robbie's looking forward to. So we thought we'd do that, just a couple of things that we're looking forward to, and then maybe get some input from you guys to see what you're thinking about as you are in retirement or as you're approaching that day. So stick around and see how our thoughts compare to yours. Hi, I'm Rich.
And I'm Robbie, and you found our channel before it's too late.
So we're trying to navigate our life these days with an eye on retirement. And I've done several different videos, or we've done videos on things that are holding us back. And the last one I did was a friend of mine who's already in that phase and kind of what he's finding in his first few months of retirement. And we realized that we hadn't had a discussion about what we were actually looking forward to. And rather than have the discussion and then talk about it with y'all, we thought we'd kind of break the ice by having the discussion on video.
Right. Basically, Rich just said to me, "What are you excited about in looking forward to retirement?" And then it was like, "Don't tell me, don't tell me. Just think about it." And now we're going to talk about it with you guys.
Yeah, so we're going to give two or three things that we're individually excited about, and maybe they're the same. We don't know because we
Yeah.
haven't talked about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But we'd really like it if you're enjoying this content, if you'd like our video and subscribe to the channel. We plan on doing more like this as long as we can come up with topics.
Yeah.
And if you've got a topic for us or more on this topic that you'd like to share, we'd love it if you put it down in the comments. We are doing our best to respond to a lot of the comments, so we're hoping to engage and kind of grow our community. All right, so here we go. So Robbie, what's the biggest thing you're excited about as you look forward to retirement?
Actually, I think the first thing that when you asked me that a day or two ago that popped into my head for whatever reason was the word freedom. Um, and I think what that means to me is just freedom to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with who I want. I mean, I'm a very structured person. Like, I'm very organized, very type A. So I do like a schedule. But in retirement, I'm just excited about being able to set my own schedule. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
Like, just the freedom to, if I want to get out of bed at 6 in the morning, I can. If I don't want to get out of bed till 6:30 or 7, I can. If I want to do laundry, I can. If I don't want to, I don't know. It's just freedom is what popped into my head. Like, just there's an unlimited um, that entails so many different things. I think freedom. It just gives me opportunity.
Yeah, and actually, my number one thing is pretty similar to that. It would be not having a schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think for me, I think back about my working career. You know, from the time I joined the military out of college, and then went into a police department, and then into sort of middle management roles in a couple of private companies. Um, I've always worked for somebody,
Right.
and so I've always had to do or at least have a schedule or a timeline on what has to be done when. You know, they always said, you know, you have to be to work at this time
Right.
and go home. You know, it's gotten better as I've
Mhm.
kind of advanced in my career as far as being able to set my own schedule somewhat, but there's still not the idea that if I want to stay home today, I
Right.
can stay home, right?
Right.
And I think that's the part I'm really looking forward to the most. But honestly, it's kind of the part that also scares me a little bit too,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. I was going to say that too. It's like having that freedom sounds awesome to me, but yet it scares me because, like you said, we've never known anything different. We've
Right.
always worked, we've always had a schedule, you've always done everything around timelines and time frames in your life. And so to not have any of that structure sounds great, but it also sounds scary.
Yeah, but I'm simple. I'm looking forward to it. Like I really am kind of looking forward to the time where I can just get up and say, here's what I want to do today.
Yeah.
So I think my next thing would be, at least I hope that I use the time, the extra time that I have to help people. Like, I have this thought in my head that I have a lot of things that I could share with maybe other men that have gone through similar situations in their life. And now I'm sort of tied down by this job, so I can't make a commitment to mentor somebody, or to you know to meet with a group of people and just have discussion. I mean, we have a small group. We've talked about that before. We have groups through our church, but not necessarily. It would be great if it was Christian based kind of thing, but it's not necessary. I think there's a lot of, there's just people out there who could feel less alone if they know maybe what I've went through, and so they don't have to feel alone in what they're going through. And I feel like in retirement, I'm hoping to find a way to get myself out there in an effort to help people, not in any sort of tie me down, trying to make money, make a living
Right.
sort of way, but in just a way of,
Just
I'm
genuine.
available.
Right.
Like, I'm available to someone in need, or to someone who is at a struggle in their life that maybe I can help with.
Yeah, that's interesting because, so for whatever reason, when Rich asked me this question, three F's popped into my head, and that first one was freedom. The second one, and it was kind of, they were second and third were kind of stuck together, and basically it was family and fostering, which Rich is kind of talking, I think, a little bit more along the lines of what I had thought about with fostering. So, what I'm looking forward to is maybe fostering family. Maybe that's the way to say it. But essentially, in my mind, it's about being able to um, do things for others. Like, I think Rich and I both have a serving heart, I would say. And we want to do things for people, we want to make things better. I like to volunteer, he likes to volunteer. But when we are still working, and not retired, there is still that structure where you don't have that freedom to do that. And so I would say being able to go to family events, going to see family, being able to pop in at a grandchild soccer game. I mean, our grandbabies are now just starting to get to that age where they're going to start getting more involved in activities and things. And in retirement, it will be nice to be able to just attend that because we have the time and the availability and the freedom. And then also, like you said, talking about helping other people, just being able to do that without feeling exhausted because you're working and then you're trying to help everyone. And I don't know. Does that make sense?
It
Yeah,
makes sense to me.
makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Good.
So I think my third thing was just kind of showing myself that all the preparation actually worked. That I've saved enough money, that I've got myself involved in enough things, that I'm got my mind in the right place to be able to walk away from work. And I know in retirement wouldn't be the time to realize that I wasn't ready.
That we didn't plan accordingly.
Right.
That would not be good.
I mean, I'm pretty confident, but I mean, it's going to be really an increased sense of accomplishment,
Yeah.
just that I can do it.
Right.
That, and
that we planned the right way.
right. And even through the comments on some of the videos that we've had before, you see people at all points of the spectrum, people that have retired in their 40s and they're super happy, and they're living on less than I have by far.
Right.
And then there's people that are in their 70s that are like, why would you retire if you're still happy doing what you're doing? I mean, we get this whole spectrum, and that's part of what it's really been great for me in reading stuff from you guys that are out there kind of walking along with us on this, just the difference in people. And for me, again, am I prepared? I think I am, but now I want to prove it to myself.
Right. So you're excited to do that, right?
For sure.
Okay.
So I guess to wrap it up, it sounds like Robbie and I were pretty much on the same page.
Pretty close.
I think, so my three things were just kind of in charge of my own schedule, and then the freedom to help other people more than I'm able to do now, and then proving to myself that all this time I've been preparing, I actually did enough.
Right. And my three basically were the three F's: freedom in being able to do what I want whenever I want, making my own schedule instead of following the schedule of someone else. Family is where I would say number two was being able to do the things that, being able to be present whenever I want to be present for family, and which also kind of led into my third one, which is fostering. And that to me was just about being able to help those around me, volunteering more, um, just being able to serve others in whatever way that I can.
So again, we hadn't really talked about it in
No.
this way. I mean, we've had a
Mm-mm.
lot of conversation about what retirement's going to look like,
Yeah.
but never really said,
Mm-mm.
what are you really looking forward to?
Right.
I think we're probably going to do one in the future, the relatively near future, that we haven't talked about either, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what really scares you about retirement, or what is something that you're really worried about as we enter that phase. But again, we'd really love it if to hear your side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you and your significant other haven't actually had the specific conversation, maybe just do it, like we did it, where
Mm-hmm.
the first time you said it is what.
What are you excited about
Yeah,
in
just.
retirement?
And I bet you'll be like us, where you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be
Pretty
pretty
similar.
similar. Yeah,
Yeah,
it won't be much of a surprise, but it's a good conversation to have. And
for
now
sure.
that we've had this start of it, I'm sure we'll have more as we go forward.
Yeah.
So again, if you're getting anything out of these, if you just enjoy the content, it'd be great if you like the video. Obviously, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you know when we put out a new video. I think we're probably going to stay in the retirement lane for a while and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of talk about what it's like as we prepare. And then someday when we're actually on that walk, we'll take you guys with us too. So I hope you come along for that. So again, thanks for watching, and
And
God
God
bless.
bless.